Happy holidays, everybody. Hi, it's Kevin, and working the camera today is Sister. Hi, Marianne.
Hi, Kev.
All right, so what are we doing tonight? We're going to make a chocolate pumpkin pie. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make two. So the recipe that I'll post on Cavalcade will be for one pie, but what I'm using is going to be double of everything because I'm making two pies, because the crowd I have to feed, the one pie ain't going to cut it. So here's what we've got. It's a real simple pie. We've got some heavy cream. We've got some chocolate chips. Just not pumpkin pie mix, but just regular pumpkin puree. We've got some seasonings, cinnamon, nutmeg, salt, dark brown sugar, and I'm taking a shortcut tonight. I'm using ready-made pie crusts. But here's what we do first. We're going to take this heavy cream. Come on over here, honey. And now, for a single pie, you would use 8 ounces, but I'm making two pies, so I'm using a whole pint, which of course is 16 ounces. So we're going to put the whole thing in here. We're going to go medium, medium, high. And what we want to do is we want this to just start to come up to a bubble. We don't want to boil it, but we'll stir this around and keep an eye on that. Shouldn't take long. In the meantime, we're going to get our pumpkin opened. So the first time I made this was at Thanksgiving, and my dad saw the recipe in a local paper and thought, okay, so maybe it'd be fun to try just as a twist on the traditional pumpkin pie, which I also made. Well, I'll tell you, of the two, this one went over big time. So I'm using a 29-ounce can. Again, I'm making two pies, so I'm using the big can of pumpkin puree. If this was a single pie, you would just need a regular 15-ounce can of your canned pumpkin. This all comes together in a bowl. No need to get out your big mixer. Okay, so we've got our pumpkin in here. Let's come back over here, keep an eye on our cream. We're going to do again, it's just starting to steam now. We're going to bring our heavy whipping cream up to temperature, then we're going to take it off the heat, and then we're going to stir in our chocolate chips. So that's actually how you melt them. So for a single pie, it's 6 ounces, which is half a bag. Your standard bag is 12 ounces, but since we're making two pies, I'll use the whole bag. So our cream came up to just a boil, took it off the heat. Now I'm going to take our chocolate chips here. Can you get a shot of that, honey?
Yeah.
And we're just going to stir away. And we're going to let the heat from the cream, you can see.
It's melting it pretty quickly.
Quickly but gently enough. It's always hard to, I've burned chocolate so many times trying to melt it like in the microwave. You know, it gets too hot.
Yeah.
So this just takes, it has a wonderful smell because you have that heavy cream and then the chocolate. Of course, I'm going to get it all over the stove, but that's okay.
That's what good cooks do.
That's right. So we're just going to get this chocolate melted up here. Okay, I'm going to just let that sit for a minute, and then I'm going to come over here. So we put our can of pumpkin in. This is a cup of dark brown sugar. I'm going to put that in there. And get a whisk here.
What's the difference between dark brown and light brown sugar?
Really the amount of molasses that's in there. Dark brown has more. So I'm going to put in a teaspoon and a half of cinnamon. Cinnamon and chocolate are really good together. Now, you could also put in, if you really like the kind of traditional pumpkin pie spices, you could put in your cloves and allspice. But I really just like cinnamon. And then I've got some fresh nutmeg here. If you didn't have whole nutmeg, you could use a quarter of a teaspoon of just regular, you know, dried powdered nutmeg. No one would call the spice police on you. But since I have the whole nutmeg, I'm going to put that in there. Okay. Then we need a little bit of salt. And let's see, half of a teaspoon. I'm going to put in half a teaspoon of salt. That's Peggy Lee's Christmas album we're listening to. A favorite of ours around here. Okay. Now we're just going to whisk all this together. Okay. Now let's go back over to our chocolate cream mixture. And I'm just going to give this a good stir to make sure that that chocolate is melted. So there it is. Beautiful. Now we're going to put this in here. So we're adding our cream, and you know, with a regular pumpkin pie you normally use like evaporated milk.
Yeah.
So because really it's a custard, so you're going to use your milk. You're going to have your eggs, which we'll put in a bit here. I want to get all that good chocolate out of here. Okay. This back here. All right. So we are just going to bring all this together here. So our pumpkin, our chocolate, and our spices. Let's give it a good whisk. I'm going to finish stirring this and get this well incorporated, and then we'll be back and we'll add our eggs and get these babies into our pie shells. Okay? Be right back. We've got everything in except our eggs. We're going to put in 4 eggs here. Again, I'm making a double recipe, so if it was just a single kind of 9-inch pie, we'd put in 2 eggs, but we're going to have double the pumpkin pie pleasure. So we've got 4 eggs. We whisk that in. Important to really get the eggs beaten in well, because that is really what gives a little bit of the lift to the pie. Again, it really, you know, milk eggs.
It makes it fluffy.
Yeah, it makes it fluffy. It gives it that custardy kind of consistency. So, okay. Now, let me get another spatula here. And we'll get this into our pie shells. So these are the deep dish type. kind of divide here. Best we can. Now I've preheated the oven to 350 degrees. Okay, so we've got our oven at 350. We're going to put our pies in center here. These will need to bake for 50 to 60 minutes. So I'm going to put 50 minutes on the timer and then we'll come on back. Basically, you want it set so that the center of the pie isn't jiggling around. And when you get to that point, and again, depends on your stove, somewhere between 50 to 60 minutes. And we'll come on back and we've made incredible chocolate pumpkin pies. Wasn't that fun? Okay, so we'll see you when we take them out of the oven. All right, everybody, our buzzer went off. I guess we went about 55 minutes total. And we're gonna take these out of here. There we go. They look pretty. So there they are. Chocolate pumpkin pie. And we'll let these cool off, and you serve them with some whipped cream. And it's a great twist on our traditional pumpkin pie. So if you want to do something special for the holidays, like I'm sure you do, give these a try. Your guests will be very glad that you did. So thanks for being a part of this one, and we'll see you next time. Bye.